Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to Call the Jester. How are we all? Become a warrior teacher. Could you subscribe, please, if you would? And also, if you can buy me a coffee, that'd be great. Or give me a super thanks, because you can do it in a number of ways now. I'm looking at other ways as well, just to see how we can up the income on the older YouTubings, right? Okay, because things are going on, and it's all great. Right, become a warrior teacher. Adverts going up. Let's get you on. It's been fun so far. It's going to be even better moving forward with our October cohorts. Let's see how we do, shall we? Let's see how we do. Okay, all right, great. Here we go. We're in Scotland. Buddy Scotland. We're back up Scotland. We're up north. Further north, right? Okay, so hello to Scotland. How are you doing? We've got some brave teachers in Scotland, which is fantastic news. Scots teachers refuse to teach sexuality petals and full frontal nude images to primary aged kids, right? Exclusive. Teachers have expressed, this is an exclusive. Teachers have expressed, should be called explicit, not exclusive. Teachers have expressed concern over disturbing images being shown to kids as young as 8. The article contains images that are not safe for work. Right? This is from the Scottish Daily Express. Children in Scottish primary schools are being asked to talk openly about their sexuality in class and are exposed to images of full frontal nudity, says teachers who think parents should know what's in the SNP's sex ed curriculum. I've said before about the state of Wales and Scotland on this. A number of Scottish teachers have said parents should be aware of lesson plans within the relationship, sexual health and parenthood curriculum that have left kids feeling uncomfortable and in some cases have been removed by head teachers who say the content is inappropriate for pupils as young as 8 or 9 years old. So we're not talking about teenagers here, right? We're talking about nippers, right? Wee little ankle biters, okay? We're talking, oh no, we're talking about ankle biters. We're a bit Mrs. Doubtfire that now. You broke my bag, you bastard. One teacher said she was even disturbed that the Scottish government didn't highlight these images in their files. Among the offending classes is one titled Human Sexuality that asks students in P5, 6 and 7 classes to delve into personal discussions of their sexuality. That's kids, nippers, not teenagers, right? Teenagers, once you sort of know who you are, you got to give them the info, haven't you? Right, listen up. Yeah, I know. But I know. And I've been, I know. Now listen, let me give you the info. The question is, who should give the info? Personally, I think it should be the parents. There should be some stuff from the school, but it should be removed and biological and cold and clinical. Not, right, so you're 8, are you? Yeah, I'm 8, yeah. And how are you doing? I'm all right. So tell us about your sexuality. Well, it's horrifying. It's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. Okay, so this is Scotland. Speaking to the Scottish Express, a teacher said it is all very unscientific and it's very personal, adding that they fear the flower analogy disguises the sexualizing. Right? I don't know what the flower analogy. Images in lessons titled My Body Are, images in a lesson titled My Body are quite graphic and quite shocking, featuring full frontal nudity that another teacher said she feared is forcing kids to familiarise themselves with nudity before they might be ready. Right? I find that a bit odd. How does one familiarise one? They just get undressed. Because these kids do that. They get undressed, don't they? They'll have had a look, won't they? What's this? What's that? What does this do? What is that for? Scottish Conservative Deputy Leader Megan Gallagher said, this sex ed guidance seems completely inappropriate for children, and I can understand fully why teachers are refusing to use this in their classrooms. Whilst it is important to promote inclusion, it's not important to promote inclusion. What we do is we promote meritocracy, right? Inclusion is immaterial. What you need to do is you need to teach them to discriminate. Right? There we go. I said it. Discrimination is part of good equality, diversity and inclusion. You discriminate against people that are tossers. You discriminate against a sausage that hasn't got enough meat. You discriminate against a glass of wine that tastes like fetid vinegar that's been, soaked with the toes of people with gangrene. Right? You don't inclusion. Right, we're going to include this person, and can we include them? Oh yeah, we're all for inclusion. Great, okay. And your name is Adolf, right? Inclusion. Stop it with this inclusion bullshit. We need to teach them to distinguish between people that are worth bothering with and people that aren't. And stop pretending like we don't do that all the time. I do it all the time. I start talking to somebody, I think, oh yeah, you're a bother with you. You're a waste of time. And you get to a point in your life where you just think, like, I've got my friends, I don't need any more. Buzz off. Can't be bothered with you. Right? Or I'm sat at a dinner table and somebody starts squirting out homophobia, you know, all over the roast dinner. I go, okay, either I'm leaving or you are. Who's it going to be? At which point my friends will go, oh, you know, but they know. Either I'm leaving or you're leaving. Who is it going to be? That's called discrimination, right? And it's a good thing to be discriminating. No? If I'm wrong, you tell me in the Dubras, right? You tell me, okay? Discriminating is a good thing. So stop whining on. This is what makes me angry, is when the teachers whine on like this. Not the teacher, the deputy leader whines on like this. While it is important to promote inclusion, it's not important. Let kids choose for themselves who's the twat and who's not. So you end up with a group of twats. Why does nobody like us? Do you think we're twats? Possibly. Possibly. While it is important to promote inclusion, why are you saying that? Sexuality is a complex topic. It's actually not. It really is not. Right? You're at a certain point in your life and it ain't. It becomes very apparent, very quickly, and very pleasurably. If I remember rightly. Yeah, I think so, yeah, right, okay. And then it goes around the school. Here, have you tried? No, but I'll have a go tonight. I'll let you know what happens tomorrow. It's just confidence, it's all bollocks, right? It's a complex topic that many parents, including myself, would feel uncomfortable about their children being exposed to. Teachers who've been in the profession for several years say we're sold on introducing adult terms to students as a way of equipping them with the language needed to identify abuse. However, there's been a change of mood within schools following the furore over sex questionnaires. It's then got a picture of a couple stood there with their, wobbly danglers hanging out, or their, just nude, and it's got 5 things saying nipples, penis, scrotum, nipples, vulva. Right? What? Right? What do you need that for? 8 and 9. You don't need it. You don't, right? Not least of all because it shouldn't be a teacher's job to talk about this. And besides which, those could have been 2 stick figures, didn't matter, wouldn't you? You'd know. Just draw little figures. Doesn't have to be 2 people. People stood there looking. Somebody got that job. Right, what was it I applied for? Well, we need you to stand naked while we photograph you for children. Oh, great, I'm in. What? The images were a big sticking point for all concerned. I could have chosen a better word. For all. There were a lot of graphic images, said one teacher, and I'm just not sure if they're really necessary. There are full frontal images of a male and a female, and I mean, the guy has even been photoshopped to have long hair. It looks really odd, and it does, right? So you can see it in the article. Go and have a look for yourselves, right? Because it's in there now. I've got it here. And you can do the zooming ins, and you can see it's like he's been photoshopped to have long hair. It's absolutely peculiar. I don't know what's going on there. It probably hasn't. It's probably just where they just cut him out badly. Again, this is forcing kids to familiarise themselves with nudity in the schools in a place where kids and parents might not necessarily want to be shown nude photos. This has got nothing to do with schooling. Get it out. What's wrong with it? Right, here's a diagram. Boys and girls, have a read of that. Right, you got it. Thanks. Next. Geography. Get it out. Oh, I just wondered about the wisdom of trying to make children get used to a familiar figure like their class teacher and talking about private parts and sexual orientations and sex. And the graphic nature of this illustration also makes me wonder if this is all really necessary. I find particularly disturbing, because of the Scottish government has it all on their website, but they know fine well that there is so much there that the parents have no chance of being able to wade through and understand which lessons their kids are actually going to be taught. Right? And then there's another graphic, which is somebody's drawn, sort of, you've got like a square bit, and it's just some woman's apparatus. Right? And then it's been labelled, and it's sort of wide open like it's going to be a gynecological examination. And then it's got mons pubis, clitoris, labia minora, labia majora, urethral opening, and vagina. They're 8. They're 8. They don't need this. They don't need it. Teenagers, different story, right? 8 and 9. These are diagrams of the female anatomy, including the vulva, that have again been removed from some classroom. One teacher found it bizarre that there was such thorough depictions of females, but no equivalent for males. It's almost like there's an agenda, isn't it? But had there been, she still would have had it removed from the lessons. Some of the images are quite graphic and quite shocking for children who maybe haven't seen that sort of visual before. If it's a drawing of a woman's private parts from her point of view, from the point of view of right between her legs. It's not a diagram, it's a realistic drawing. It's very disturbing for the kids. A lot of them hide their faces. They're extremely uncomfortable, she added. I imagine it is. In that, if you either do this two ways, right? Which is you do it in a serious, cold, calculating way, or you do it in a comic way. Right, this is a muff, that's enough. You can't, there's no other way to do it. You don't do, right, children, let's get down with the gritty, nitty, the gritty. You can have a look later. This is your sick. In lesson plans and classroom activities seen by the Scottish Express, students are told about the 6 petals of the sexuality flower. Here we go. This is the flower analogy I mentioned earlier. The aim of the lesson is to teach the concept of human sexuality, while teachers are expected to convey sexuality is something we feel, something we do, that exists within ourselves. Sexuality is not the same as having sex. It is a much bigger idea. We are going to imagine that our human sexuality is like a flower with many petals, and each petal will represent a bit of what we call our sexuality. As part of a classroom activity, pupils are expected to fill out the 6 petals and give details about their favourite senses, feelings, spirituality, identity, self-image and relationships with other people. These include thinking about family relationships, feeling about the shape and size of bodies, senses like taste, smell and touch, as well as conceptualising spirituality as the human spirit or human soul. It's utterly surreal, isn't it? Utterly surreal. Interfering wazzocks. It's utterly surreal. Teachers have raised it with heads, this type of thing. In this instance, the head teacher hadn't seen that lesson and was in full agreement they should definitely not teach it. In one of the petals, kids are meant to fill out. They are expected to write about their spirituality. What on earth are the kids meant to say? It's very strange, and it's made to sound all fluffy and not harmful, but it disguises the sexualizing. That's exactly what it does. It disguises it. They're manipulating children. They're manipulating their emotions, they're manipulating their knowledge, they are manipulating the truth, and they are removing the boundary between going to school and being at home. They are removing the boundary between the professional teacher and the children. This has to end. This is to say, right, so we're all going to talk about pictures of, here we go, flap danglers, all that stuff. Get it out. Doesn't need to be there. Cold, clinical, removed, right? Think about it that way, right? There's a massive difference in there from practicing and knowing. Okay? What they're doing is, in effect, is trying to get children used to the idea that this should be normal to talk about all this stuff with anybody whenever you want and to be expansive about your identity. There'll be gender identity in there somewhere. It's bound to be, right? Okay? Pure biology. That's what they need. Here's the biology. These are what the bit's called. This is what the bits do. Oh, and by the way, some men love other men. Some women love other women. Some people have one mummy and that family, non-traditional families. That'd be a good idea as well, wouldn't it, eh? Oh, and now we're going to move on to the subject of gender identity. No, you're not. No, you're not, right? We need to get this nonsense out of schools. Because Scotland and Wales have gone completely bonkers. But there was some good news, wasn't there, a day or so ago, about somebody sued. Come on, let's get suing. Get suing. Welcome, Sue. Okay, go away. This is such a hard one. I hate it. It's all crap. Just get it out of the way and start teaching kids properly. See you later.